I just died. You just started?
That hasn't been the case with every con. Some cons you're like, oh my god, please. How much are Bloody Marys on this flight? But most of them, and this one especially, this is a great con. The guys that run it, this is my first time in Seattle, and so kind of getting, I've had the opportunity to go and see other stuff. I'm like, no, I kind of want to hang out here, so I don't know what that says about me as a person, but I really like cons, and I have a lot of fun. So my favorite part is just like getting on panels like this, especially with other voice actors and stuff, and then my least favorite is when I have to leave.
Aww.
A follow-up question.
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Will you ever cosplay?
Will I ever cosplay?
Yes.
If I looked like any of my characters in real life, if I had that waistline, absolutely. I look like Killia will look in another 15 years. Once he eats more Pocky.
It's a gym.
One day, by God, I will cosplay. I will hit the gym a lot between now and then, and I will cosplay as something. I don't know what, but one day I'm just going to cosplay because I love that about cons is going, oh my God, this person is like on stilts and they're dressed like, oh my God, and those are real feathers. I want to do that. So, yes. More it's you next. That's right. I said you'd be next.
I was wondering, as you get more comfortable with voice acting, you've been at it for a while, have you found yourself, because you're a funny guy.
Really? I was trying to be serious this whole time.
I've laughed more at this meeting than like everywhere else. So, do you feel yourself kind of wanting to be more and more crazy and get like more and more hilarious characters that you're just like, I can go wild with this?
Which actually, yeah, which is funny. Do you know D. Gray Man?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's coming out very, very soon, and it's been announced. I'm in it. I'm playing. It's either it's
out.
Okay, good. I can talk about it then without being fired.
Hey.
I was coming off of doing Isaac Dean for 4 or 5 months. We recorded that show, and then I got to do D. Gray Man, and it was really funny because the process of that show was they kind of finally I didn't get to audition for it because I didn't have time, and I told Todd, oh look man, I really want to audition for it, but I'm too swamped right now. So, thanks, but no thanks. And then finally, they were going to get me in to be like the robot in episode 12, Sir Conlon II. And by that time, they had said, I guess they hadn't cast Kamui yet. And am I pronouncing it correctly when I say Kamui? He never says his own name, so I'm like, I just assume it's Kamui or Kamui or whatever. I'm terrible with Japanese pronunciation. Boy, am I in the right industry. But it was really funny because we sit down and they talked about it and they're like, this character's going to be huge and over the top and we kind of want you to play it because even though you didn't audition. And so the first session was kind of a paid audition since I hadn't had the chance and they were like, they loved it, so we did it. That character, after that, especially episode 13 where he gets huge and shrill and just all over the place, was when you're in the booth at Okatron where they record it, the engineer's booth is like down the hallway, and you're like in a separate room. It's beautiful. It's like a little mini apartment with like a table and a couch. Very, very small. But there's a monitor that you can see what's going on at their station, so you can see Todd and Raleigh, the engineer. And you can see, that they're watching you on a monitor because there's a camera on you. And so I have to, the positions you have, it's similar to working on Isaac, is that I've told the story before that, Isaac was the first character I'd done where I had to do ridiculous things with my body to get the voice to sound natural. And there's a moment in Corey Charlotte, who's Tyler's engineer from Bacano, would just look at me. I'd be done with the take and he'd be like,
What the hell was that?
what the hell are you doing? And at one point I was like standing like this, like crouched in front of the mic, and I'm like doing this, and my my voice is coming out, and I don't know why I was doing it. In the read, I suddenly ended up doing this, and I was still like this after the take, and Corey goes, "What the hell is that?" It's the character. Shut up. This is what he does. You don't know. Shut up, an engineer. And like 3 scenes later, Isaac was doing this. I will leave you alone now to do whatever. But I mean, and it was very similar for Kamui. Like the first time we did, we recorded like 13 episodes in a day, which was. It was like, woo-hoo! And it was like, oh, I sound like Kamui all day now. But I was like, I was sweating bullets at the end of it because he's so high energy, which was fun. I got a workout. I'm like, I don't have to go to the gym now. But I would always look after each take because I will tend to, like, if I'm reading a line or something, well, let's say he has to scream something like, he'll sit there and I'm like this in front of the mic, which looks ridiculous. But I kind of freeze in this position while I'm waiting to see if it fit. And I will always look at the monitor and see Todd or Raleigh going.
Get a picture.
I'm like,
I'm trying to film it.
shut up, did it fit? And so doing Kamui has been really, really a lot of fun. And it's great to get to work with Todd again because it's now, I'm like, Kamui is the anti-Domaki.
Yeah.
And you know, Todd and I, we discussed this once recently. We're like, we have like run the gamut of anime pairings. We have been friends, we've been associates, we've been enemies, we've been everything together. It's like, what's next? Don't answer that. I know what you're thinking, and that would be really, really cool. But Todd would
Todd would go crazy.
only because he's an amazing actor. I love working with him.
Innocent.
I'm gonna go for like 5 more minutes. So I'll take maybe 2 or 3 more questions, and then we'll go. Let's see. Who hasn't asked? You in the hat. Who I thought was raising your hand a while ago because it was just your hat. You're actually raising your hand now. You have a question. What's your question?
Do you have a favorite line
Oh,
As Jiro?
Jiro.
Oh yes, I do.
Please be the one I'm thinking
My
of.
favorite line as Jiro is. Oh, let's see if I can do it. Hold on. You never do that in the movie, by the way. The engineer will kick you.
Very hard.
Before this is over with, I will carve the way of the black blood into your bones.
Nice.
Which also
Wow.
gives me no days. And you with an awesome white outfit there. Must be very hard to keep clean. I'm interrupting you again, I'm sorry.